Attention! To get the most out of this vocabulary listening session in a relaxation mode that approaches hypnosis, we recommend that you first listen to the normal video about this vocabulary. Listening to the normal video will allow you to familiarize yourself with this vocabulary, or even to look up any unknown words. Thus, after this preliminary work, your brain having already become accustomed to this vocabulary, listening to this video will be much more effective. Now, let's begin the relaxation phase.
Find a comfortable place to sit or lie down, in a quiet place away from light and noise. Once you're settled, feel free to adjust your position if you need to. Take a deep breath, fill your lungs, and hold it for a second. Now, exhale and close your eyes. Let yourself relax. Let go of the superficial tensions in your body and let your shoulders relax. It's good to relax today, to prepare for learning English. Now place your awareness on your eyelids. You know that you can relax these eyes wonderfully. You know that you can relax these eyes so deeply that as long as you choose to keep this relaxation, the eyelids will simply no longer function. And when you know that you have done this, keep this relaxation and give it a good try. Make sure they don't work, and notice how they feel. Really test them. That's okay. That's good. Stop trying and let yourself relax even more. The quality of relaxation that you have created in your eyes is the quality of relaxation that I would like you to let go of in your entire body. So take this relaxation and bring it to the top of your head, and send it down your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Let go of every muscle, let go of every nerve, let go of every fiber, and let yourself drift much more deeply relaxed. There you have it. Now let's really deepen this state. In a moment, I will ask you to open and close your eyes. When you close your eyes, send a wave of relaxation through your body so quickly that you will allow the physical part of yourself to relax. 10 times deeper. Want it, and you will have it. Let your eyes open and close your eyes. And really let go. Feel your body relax even more. You are doing very well. In a moment, I will ask you to open and close your eyes again. At the moment you close your eyes, double this physical relaxation. Let it really develop in you twice as deeply. Let your eyes open and close. Deeper, deeper, relaxed. In a moment, we will do it one more time. And notice how this will happen all by itself as you learn how simple all of this is. Double it at least. Very well. Let your eyes open and close and let go. That's good. That's good. Now the body is really relaxed. So let's let the mind relax. That's really what we want to do. When your mind is relaxed, you can really achieve anything you can imagine within certain limits, of course. A relaxed mind that will allow us to listen to this new English course and better understand its vocabulary. Let's go now.
The world's population. The world's population is the total number of people living on Earth. According to the United Nations, the world population reached 7.9 billion in 2021 and is expected to grow to 9.7 billion by 2050. Demography is the scientific study of human populations, their size, structure, distribution, and changes over time. Demographers use various methods and sources of data to analyze population trends and patterns. One of the main sources of data for demography is a census, which is an official count of the population in a country or region, usually conducted every 10 years. A census can provide information on the number, age, sex, ethnicity, and location of the population, as well as other social and economic characteristics. To take a census, governments or other agencies usually send questionnaires or interviewers to collect information from households or individuals. Sometimes, a census can also use administrative records or other sources of data to estimate the population size and characteristics. The forecast of the future population size and growth is based on assumptions about the trends of fertility, mortality, and migration. These assumptions are derived from historical data, current observations, and expert opinions. World population growth is the change in the number of people living in the world over a period of time. It is influenced by the balance between births and deaths, and by the movement of people across borders. The population explosion is a term used to describe the rapid increase in the world population in the 20th and 21st centuries, especially after World War II. The population explosion was mainly driven by the decline in mortality rates due to improvements in health, sanitation, and medicine, while fertility rates remained high. Overpopulation is a situation where the number of people exceeds the carrying capacity of the environment, resulting in negative impacts on the quality of life, the availability of resources, and the sustainability of the ecosystem. Overpopulation can cause problems such as poverty, hunger, disease, pollution, deforestation, and climate change. To be overpopulated means to have more people than the environment can support. Some countries or regions are considered to be overpopulated because they have high population densities, low levels of development, or limited natural resources. An age pyramid is a graphical representation of the age and sex structure of a population. It shows the proportion of people in different age groups, usually in 5-year intervals, and the difference between males and females. An age pyramid can reveal the demographic characteristics and history of a population, such as its stage of development, fertility, mortality, and migration patterns. An age group is a category of people who share the same age or range of ages. For example, children, adolescents, young adults, middle-aged adults, and elderly are common age groups. An age group can have different needs, preferences, behaviors, and opportunities in society. The birth rate is the number of live births per 1,000 people in a population in a given year. It is also known as the crude birth rate or the natality rate. The birth rate is influenced by factors such as the age structure, the fertility rate, the availability and use of contraception, the social and cultural norms, and the economic and political conditions of a population. The fertility rate is the average number of children that a woman would have in her lifetime, assuming that she survives to the end of her reproductive age and that she follows the prevailing age-specific fertility rates. It is also known as the total fertility rate or the replacement level fertility. The fertility rate is affected by the same factors as the birth rate, but it also reflects the changes in the timing and spacing of births. Birth control is the practice of preventing or reducing the likelihood of pregnancy by using various methods or devices. It is also known as contraception or family planning. Birth control can have benefits for the health, education, and empowerment of women, as well as for the population and the environment. To make contraception available to all women means to ensure that every woman has access to safe, effective, affordable, and acceptable methods of birth control, regardless of her age, income, location, or marital status. It also means to provide information, education, and counseling on reproductive health and rights, and to remove any legal, social, or cultural barriers that prevent women from using contraception. The death rate is the number of deaths per 1,000 people in a population in a given year. It is also known as the crude death rate or the mortality rate. The death rate is influenced by factors such as the age structure, the life expectancy, the causes of death, the availability and quality of health care, and the environmental and sanitary conditions of a population. The infant mortality rate is the number of deaths of children under 1 year of age per 1,000 live births in a population in a given year. It is an indicator of the health and well-being of a population, as it reflects the level of maternal and child health, nutrition, immunization, and access to health services. Life expectancy is the average number of years that a person is expected to live at a given age, based on the mortality rates of a population in a given period. It is also known as the expected lifespan or the mean lifespan. Life expectancy can vary by sex, race, ethnicity, and geographic location, and it can change over time due to improvements or declines in health and living conditions. A densely populated area is an area that has a high concentration of people per unit of land area. It is also known as an area of high population density. A densely populated area can have advantages such as economic development, social diversity, and cultural richness, but it can also have disadvantages such as overcrowding, traffic congestion, pollution, and resource depletion. A sparsely populated area is an area that has a low concentration of people per unit of land area. It is also known as an area of low population density. A sparsely populated area can have advantages such as natural beauty, wildlife conservation, and peacefulness, but it can also have disadvantages such as isolation, lack of services, and underdevelopment. To rise by, to increase by, or to grow by 5% means to add 5% to the original value of a quantity. For example, if the world population was 7.9 billion in 2021 and it rose by 5% in 2022, it would be 8.3 billion in 2022. A rise, an increase, or a growth in world population means a change in the number of people living in the world that is positive or upward. For example, the world population rose, increased, or grew by 1.1% from 2020 to 2021. To rise dramatically means to increase by a large amount or at a fast rate. For example, the world population rose dramatically from 2.5 billion in 1950 to 7.9 billion in 2021. To soar, to spiral, or to skyrocket means to rise very high or very quickly. For example, the world population soared, spiraled, or skyrocketed from 1 billion in 1800 to 7.9 billion in 2021. To double means to multiply by 2 or to become twice as large. For example, the world population doubled from 3 billion in 1960 to 6 billion in 1999. To triple or to treble means to multiply by 3 or to become 3 times as large. For example, the world population tripled or trebled from 2.5 billion in 1950 to 7.5 billion in 2017. To increase fourfold means to multiply by 4 or to become 4 times as large. For example, the world population increased fourfold from 1.6 billion in 1900 to 6.4 billion in 2004. To peak at 9 billion means to reach the highest point or the maximum value of 9 billion. For example, some projections suggest that the world population will peak at 9 billion around 2070 and then decline. The current trend is the general direction or tendency of a phenomenon in the present time. For example, the current trend of the world population is to grow at a slower rate than in the past, but still to increase in absolute numbers. The reversal of a trend is the change of direction or tendency of a phenomenon from the previous or expected one. For example, the reversal of a trend of the world population would be to decrease instead of increase, or to increase at a faster rate than before. A baby boom is a period of time when there is a significant increase in the number of births in a population, usually due to social or economic factors. For example, the baby boom in the United States occurred after World War II, from 1946 to 1964, when more than 76 million babies were born. The baby boomers are the generation of people who were born during the baby boom period, usually defined as those born between 1946 and 1964. They are also known as the boomers. The baby boomers have had a significant impact on the society, culture, politics, and economy. Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme.
Airport terminal, the building where passengers check in, go through security, and board their flights. Baggage claim, the area where passengers collect their luggage after landing. Boarding pass, a document that shows your flight number, seat number, and boarding time. You need it to board the plane. Carry-on luggage, the bags that you can take with you on the plane. They have to fit in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. Check-in desk, the place where you show your passport, ticket, and luggage before your flight. You can also check in online or at a self-service kiosk. Customs, the place where you have to declare any goods that you are bringing into or taking out of the country. You may have to pay taxes or duties on some items. Departure lounge, the area where you wait for your flight after passing through security. You can find shops, restaurants, and restrooms there. Duty-free shop, a store that sells goods without charging taxes or duties. You can only buy from these shops if you are traveling internationally. Excess baggage, the luggage that exceeds the weight or size limit allowed by the airline. You have to pay extra fees for it. Flight attendant, a person who works on the plane and takes care of the passengers. They serve food and drinks, give safety instructions, and help in case of emergencies. Flight number, a code that identifies your flight. It usually consists of 2 letters followed by 3 or 4 digits. For example, BA 1234. Gate, the door where you board the plane. It is usually shown on your boarding pass and on the screens in the airport. Immigration, the place where you show your passport and visa, if required, when you enter a foreign country. You may have to answer some questions about your trip and fill out a form. In-flight entertainment, the movies, music, games, and other programs that you can watch or listen to on the plane. You can use your own device or the screen on the seat in front of you. Jet lag, the feeling of tiredness and confusion that you may experience after traveling across different time zones. It can affect your sleep, appetite, and mood. Layover, a stop between 2 flights. You may have to change planes or wait for a few hours before your next flight. Liquids, aerosols, and gels, lags, the substances that are restricted in your carry-on luggage. You can only bring containers of 100 milliliters or less, and they have to fit in a clear plastic bag. Lost and found, the office where you can report or claim any items that you have lost or found in the airport. Metal detector, a device that scans your body for any metal objects. You have to walk through it when you go through security. Overbooked, the situation when the airline has sold more tickets than there are seats on the plane. Some passengers may have to take a later flight or receive compensation. Overhead compartment, the storage space above your seat on the plane. You can put your carry-on luggage there, but you have to be careful when opening and closing it. Passport, a document that proves your identity and nationality. You need it to travel internationally and to go through immigration and customs. Pilot, the person who flies the plane. They sit in the cockpit and communicate with the air traffic control and the passengers. Runway, the long and narrow strip of land where planes take off and land. Seatbelt, a strap that you have to fasten around your waist when you are on the plane. It keeps you safe in case of turbulence or emergency. Security, the process that you have to go through before boarding the plane. You have to show your boarding pass and passport, and put your carry-on luggage and personal items on a conveyor belt for scanning. You may also have to remove your shoes, belt, jacket, and any metal objects. Stopover, a break between two flights that lasts longer than 24 hours. You can leave the airport and explore the city where you are stopping. Ticket, a document that shows that you have paid for your flight. It contains your personal information, flight details, and booking reference. You need it to check in and board the plane. Time zone, a region of the world that has the same standard time. There are 24 time zones in the world, and they are usually 1 hour apart. For example, Paris is in the Central European Time Zone, CET, which is 1 hour ahead of Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. Transit, the period of time that you spend in an airport when you are traveling to another destination. You do not have to go through immigration or customs, but you may have to go through security again. Travel agent, a person who helps you plan and book your trip. They can find the best deals on flights, hotels, tours, and other services. Travel insurance, a type of insurance that covers you for any unexpected costs or problems that may occur during your trip. It can include medical expenses, lost or stolen luggage, flight cancellations, and more. Trolley, a cart that you can use to carry your luggage in the airport. You can find them near the entrance, the baggage claim, or the check-in desk. You may have to pay a small fee or deposit to use them. Turbulence, the sudden and irregular movement of the plane caused by changes in the air pressure or wind. It can make the plane shake or bounce, but it is not dangerous. You have to stay in your seat and fasten your seatbelt when it happens. Visa, a document that allows you to enter a foreign country for a specific purpose and period of time. You may have to apply for it before your trip and show it at the immigration. Some countries do not require a visa for certain travelers or for short stays. Window seat, a seat next to the window on the plane. You can enjoy the view, but you may have to disturb the other passengers if you want to get up. Aisle seat, a seat next to the aisle on the plane. You can easily get up and move around, but you may have to move for the other passengers or the flight attendants. Middle seat, a seat between the window seat and the aisle seat on the plane. You have less space and comfort, but you can talk to both of your neighbors. Boarding, the process of getting on the plane. You have to show your boarding pass and passport at the gate, and then find your seat on the plane. Landing, the process of arriving at your destination. The plane descends and touches the ground, and then taxis to the gate. You have to stay in your seat until the seatbelt sign is off, and then collect your carry-on luggage and leave the plane. Takeoff, the process of leaving the airport. The plane accelerates and lifts off the ground, and then climbs to a higher altitude. You have to stay in your seat and fasten your seatbelt until the seatbelt sign is off. Connecting flight, a flight that you have to take after your first flight to reach your final destination. You have to change planes at a different airport, and you may have to go through security again. Direct flight, a flight that goes from your origin to your destination without any stops or changes of planes. Non-stop flight, a flight that goes from your origin to your destination without any stops, but it may change planes at a different airport. Round-trip ticket, a ticket that includes both your outbound and inbound flights. You have to return to the same airport that you departed from. One-way ticket, a ticket that only includes your outbound flight. You do not have to return to the same airport that you departed from. Economy class, the cheapest and most basic class of service on the plane. You have less space, comfort, and amenities, but you can save money. Business class, a more expensive and comfortable class of service on the plane. You have more space, comfort, and amenities, such as larger seats, better food, and priority boarding. First class, the most expensive and luxurious class of service on the plane. You have the most space, comfort, and amenities, such as private suites, gourmet meals, and personal service. Airfare, the cost of your flight. It may include taxes, fees, and surcharges, depending on the airline and the destination. Baggage allowance, the amount of luggage that you can check in or carry on the plane without paying extra fees. It depends on the airline, the destination, and the class of service. Itinerary, the plan of your trip. It shows your flight details, such as the dates, times, airports, and airlines. You may also include your hotel, car rental, and activities information.
Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme. Time management vocabulary. Curfew. This is a rule or a law that requires people to stay indoors after a certain time, usually at night. The government imposed a curfew from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. to prevent the spread of the virus. Night owl. This is a person who likes to stay up late at night and is more active or productive during the night than during the day. He is a night owl. He always works on his projects until 3 a.m. Nightlife. This is the entertainment or social activities that take place at night in a city or a town, such as bars, clubs, concerts, etc. She loves the nightlife in Paris. There is always something to do or see. Home time. This is the time when someone has to or wants to go home, especially after a night out. It's getting late. I think it's home time for me. Party animal. This is a person who enjoys going to parties and socializing a lot, often drinking and dancing. He is a party animal. He goes out every weekend and never misses a party. Time crunch. This is a situation where you have very little time to do something or to finish something. I'm in a time crunch right now. I have to finish this report by noon. Time flies. This is an expression that means time passes very quickly, especially when you are having fun or doing something enjoyable. Time flies when you're having fun. I can't believe it's already 10 p.m. Time off. This is a period of time when you are not working or studying, and you can relax or do other things. I'm taking some time off next week. I'm going to visit my family in the countryside. Time out. This is a short break or pause in an activity, especially to rest or to calm down. The teacher gave the students a time out after they were too noisy in class. Time saver. This is something that helps you to do something faster or more efficiently, and saves you time. Online banking is a great time saver. You don't have to go to the bank to pay your bills. Deadline extension. This is a request or a grant to postpone the deadline for a task or a project. I asked my boss for a deadline extension because I was sick last week. He agreed to give me 2 more days to finish the report. Time tracking. This is the process of measuring and recording the amount of time spent on various activities. I use a time tracking app to keep track of how much time I spend on each task. It helps me to improve my productivity and efficiency. Time management skills. These are the abilities to plan, organize, prioritize, and execute tasks within a given time frame. Time management skills are essential for any professional who wants to achieve their goals and meet their deadlines. Time management tools. These are the devices, software, or methods that help people to manage their time better. Some common time management tools are calendars, timers, to-do lists, and planners. Time management strategies. These are the techniques or approaches that people use to manage their time effectively. Some popular time management strategies are the Eisenhower matrix, the Pomodoro technique, and the SMART goals. Deadline. This is the final date or time by which something must be completed or delivered. I have a tight deadline for this project. I need to finish it by tomorrow. Procrastinate. This is the act of delaying or postponing something that one should do, often out of laziness or fear. I always procrastinate when I have to write an essay. I end up doing it at the last minute. Schedule. This is a plan that lists the times or dates when certain events or tasks will happen. I have a busy schedule today. I have to go to work, then to the gym, then to a meeting, and then to a party. Punctual. This is an adjective that describes someone who arrives or does something at the expected or agreed time. He is very punctual. He never arrives late to class or to appointments. Time zone. This is a region of the world that has a standard time that is different from other regions. France is in the Central European Time Zone, which is 1 hour ahead of the Greenwich Mean Time Zone. Daylight saving time. A period of time when the clocks are moved forward 1 hour in the spring and back 1 hour in the fall. Daylight saving time starts on the second Sunday in March. Spring forward, to move the clocks forward 1 hour in the spring. We spring forward at 2 a.m. on Sunday. Fall back, to move the clocks back 1 hour in the fall. We fall back at 2 a.m. on Sunday. Clocks go forward, this is a phrase that means to adjust the clocks 1 hour ahead, usually in spring, to start the daylight saving time. Don't forget that the clocks go forward this weekend, you will lose 1 hour of sleep. Clocks go back, this is a phrase that means to adjust the clocks 1 hour back, usually in autumn, to end the daylight saving time. The good thing about the clocks going back is that you get an extra hour of sleep. To bank on it, this is a phrase that means to be sure or certain of something, to rely or depend on something. You can bank on it that he will be late, he always is. Let's aim, this is a phrase that means to have a goal or a plan to do something, to try or attempt to do something. Let's aim to finish this project by next week, we don't want to procrastinate. End up, this is a phrasal verb that means to reach a final or unexpected result, situation, or place. We ended up going to the cinema instead of the museum, it was raining too much. Get home, this is a phrasal verb that means to arrive at one's house or place of residence. What time did you get home last night? You looked very tired this morning. Couple of hours, this is a phrase that means a small or approximate number of hours, usually 2 or 3. I only slept for a couple of hours, I had to study for the exam. To drop somebody home, this is a phrase that means to drive or take someone to their home, usually as a favor or a courtesy. Can you drop me home after the party? I don't have a car. To head back, this is a phrase that means to return or go back to a place, usually where one came from or where one lives. It's getting late, I think I'm going to head back to my hotel. A lie-in, this is a noun that means a time when one stays in bed longer than usual, especially in the morning. I love having a lie-in on Sundays, it's so relaxing. A late finish, this is a noun that means a time when one finishes work or an activity later than usual or expected. I had a late finish at work today, there was a lot of paperwork to do. To meet up, to go to the same place at the same time. We're meeting up at the park at 7 p.m. To stay up, to not go to bed. I stayed up late studying for my exam. To be up late, to be awake late at night. I was up late watching a movie. To yawn, to open your mouth wide and breathe in deeply. I yawned because I was tired. To get up, to wake up from sleep. I got up at 6 a.m. to go for a run. To be an early riser, to be someone who usually wakes up early. I'm an early riser because I like to have a lot of time in the morning. To be a late riser, to be someone who usually wakes up late. I'm a late riser because I don't like to get out of bed. To be groggy, to feel sleepy or confused after waking up. I was feeling groggy after waking up so early. Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme.
An athlete is a person who competes in sports. Athletes are typically physically fit and skilled in their chosen sport. They train hard to improve their performance and compete at the highest level. To compete is to try to win against someone or something else. In sports, Athletes compete against each other to see who is the best. They may compete in individual events or team events. A contest is a competition between two or more people or teams. Contests can be held in any sport, and they can be formal or informal. An event is a single competition in a sport. Events can be individual or team events, and they can be held at the local, national, or international level. Equipment is the gear that athletes use to play their sport. Equipment can include things like balls, rackets, bats, skis, and helmets. Exercise is any physical activity that helps to improve fitness. Exercise can be done for fun, for health, or for competition. Fitness is the state of being physically and mentally healthy. Fitness can be improved through exercise, diet, and a healthy lifestyle. A goal is the object of a contest. In sports, goals can be scored by throwing, kicking, hitting, or catching the ball. A league is a group of teams that compete against each other. Leagues can be organized by region, sport, or skill level. A match is a contest between two teams. Matches are typically played over 2 or 3 sets. An official is a person who enforces the rules of a sport. Officials can include referees, umpires, and judges. Overtime is extra time added to a contest to break a tie. Overtime is typically played in 2-minute intervals. A performance is how well an athlete or team does in a contest. Performance can be measured by things like points scored, goals scored, or time to complete a task. To play is to engage in a sport or game. People play sports for fun, for exercise, or for competition. Practice is the act of rehearsing or training for a sport. Athletes practice to improve their skills and prepare for competition. A record is the best performance ever recorded in a sport. Records can be set by individuals or teams. Recreation is any activity that is done for enjoyment or relaxation. Sports can be a form of recreation for people of all ages. To retire is to stop playing a sport professionally. Athletes may retire for a variety of reasons, including injury, age, or a desire to pursue other interests. A score is the number of points or goals that a team has scored in a contest. Scores are typically kept by an official or a scoreboard. A sport is a physical activity that is governed by rules and typically involves competition between 2 or more people or teams. Sports can be played for fun, for exercise, or for competition. Sportsmanship is the practice of fair play and respect for one's opponents. Sportsmanlike athletes play by the rules and show good sportsmanship, even when they lose. A team is a group of people who work together to achieve a common goal. In sports, teams typically consist of 2 or more players who compete against other teams. A venue is the place where a sport is played. Venues can include stadiums, arenas, courts, or fields. To win is to be victorious in a contest. In sports, the winning team or athlete is the one that scores the most points or goals. A workout is a period of exercise or training. Workouts can be done to improve fitness, prepare for competition. Sports facilities are any buildings, structures, or spaces that are designed for and used for physical activity or sport. This could include things like stadiums, arenas, gyms, swimming pools, and sports fields. A fitness center is a facility where people can exercise and improve their physical fitness. Fitness centers typically have a variety of equipment, such as treadmills, weights, and exercise machines. To keep fit means to maintain a healthy level of physical fitness. This can be done by exercising regularly, eating a healthy diet, and getting enough sleep. To improve one's fitness means to make oneself more physically fit. This can be done by increasing the intensity and duration of one's workouts, or by trying new types of exercise. To age well means to maintain good health and vitality as one gets older. This can be done by adopting healthy habits, such as exercising regularly, eating a healthy diet, and getting enough sleep. To keep slim means to maintain a healthy weight. This can be done by eating a balanced diet and exercising regularly. To be keen on sport means to enjoy watching or playing sports. To exercise means to engage in physical activity in order to improve or maintain one's physical fitness. To be sporty means to enjoy participating in sports and to be physically fit. A sports buff is a person who is very knowledgeable about sports and who enjoys watching and playing them. To be obsessed with sport means to be excessively interested in or preoccupied with sports.
Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme.
Shopping. Bargain. A bargain is something that you buy for a lower price than usual or than its real value. For example, she found a great bargain at the flea market, a vintage dress for only 10 euros. Receipt. A receipt is a piece of paper that shows the amount of money that you have paid for something. For example, he asked for a receipt after paying for his groceries. Refund. A refund is an amount of money that is given back to you if you are not satisfied with something that you have bought or if you return it. For example, she got a full refund for the broken toaster that she bought online. Discount. A discount is a reduction in the price of something. For example, the store offered a 20% discount on all shoes during the clearance sale. Exchange. An exchange is when you give something back to a store and get something else of the same value instead. For example, he exchanged the shirt that he bought for his brother for a different size. Fitting room. A fitting room is a small room in a clothing store where you can try on clothes before buying them. For example, she went to the fitting room to see if the jeans fit her well. Cashier. A cashier is a person who works at a store and takes the money from customers when they pay for their purchases. For example, he waited in line to pay the cashier for his books. Cart. A cart is a large metal basket on wheels that you use to carry the things that you want to buy in a supermarket or a large store. For example, she pushed the cart around the store and put the items that she needed in it. Checkout. A checkout is the place where you pay for your purchases in a store. For example, he scanned the barcode of each item at the checkout and then paid with his credit card. Coupon. A coupon is a piece of paper or a code that gives you a discount on something that you buy. For example, she used a coupon to get 10% off on her pizza order. Gift card. A gift card is a card that has a certain amount of money on it that you can use to buy things at a specific store or a group of stores. For example, he gave her a gift card for her birthday so that she could choose what she wanted. Inventory. An inventory is a list of all the things that a store has in stock and their quantities. For example, she checked the inventory to see if they had any more of the perfume that the customer wanted. Label. A label is a piece of paper or fabric that is attached to something and that gives information about it, such as its price, size, brand, or ingredients. For example, he read the label on the bottle to see what the wine was made of. Merchandise. Merchandise is a general term for the goods that are sold in stores. For example, the store had a wide variety of merchandise, from clothes and accessories to electronics and books. Price tag. A price tag is a small piece of paper or plastic that is attached to something, and that shows how much it costs. For example, she looked at the price tag on the dress and decided that it was too expensive for her. Sale. A sale is when something is sold for a lower price than usual for a limited period of time. For example, he bought a new TV during the Black Friday sale and saved a lot of money. Shelf. A shelf is a flat board that is attached to a wall or a piece of furniture and that is used to hold or display things. For example, she arranged the books on the shelf in alphabetical order. Shop assistant. A shop assistant is a person who works in a store and helps customers by giving them information or advice about the products. For example, he asked the shop assistant where he could find the socks. Shopping bag. A shopping bag is a bag that you use to carry the things that you have bought in a store. For example, she put the clothes that she had bought in her shopping bag and left the store. Shopping list. A shopping list is a list of the things that you need or want to buy. For example, he made a shopping list before going to the supermarket so that he would not forget anything. Store. A store is a place where you can buy things. For example, she went to the store to buy some milk and eggs. Window shopping. Window shopping is when you look at the things that are displayed in the windows of stores without buying anything. For example, he enjoyed window shopping and seeing the latest trends in fashion. Brand. A brand is a name or a symbol that identifies a specific product or a company that makes it. For example, she preferred to buy clothes from well-known brands rather than from cheap ones. Budget. A budget is the amount of money that you have or that you plan to spend on something. For example, he had a tight budget and could not afford to buy anything expensive. Cash. Cash is money in the form of coins or bills. For example, she paid with cash because she did not have a credit card. Credit card. A credit card is a small plastic card that you can use to buy things and pay for them later. For example, he used his credit card to book a hotel room online. Debit card. A debit card is a small plastic card that you can use to buy things and pay for them immediately from your bank account. For example, she used her debit card to withdraw some money from the ATM. Online shopping. Online shopping is when you buy things on the internet using a computer or a smartphone. For example, he liked online shopping because it was convenient and he could compare prices easily. Shopping mall. A shopping mall is a large building or a group of buildings that has many different stores, restaurants, and other facilities. For example, she went to the shopping mall with her friends and had a lot of fun. Tax. A tax is an amount of money that you have to pay to the government when you buy or sell something. For example, he was surprised by the high tax that he had to pay for his car. Warranty. A warranty is a written promise from a company that they will repair or replace something that you have bought from them if it breaks or does not work properly within a certain period of time. For example, she checked the warranty on her laptop and saw that it was still valid for another year. Wholesale. Wholesale is when you buy or sell large quantities of something at a lower price than usual. For example, he bought the flowers at wholesale and then sold them at his shop for a higher price. Retail. Retail is when you buy or sell small quantities of something at the usual price. For example, she worked in retail and enjoyed helping customers find what they wanted. Consumer. A consumer is a person who buys and uses goods and services. For example, he was a smart consumer and always looked for the best deals and quality. Customer. A customer is a person who buys something from a store or a business. For example, she was a loyal customer and always shopped at the same store. Vendor. A vendor is a person or a company that sells something. For example, he was a vendor and sold ice cream at the park. Supplier. A supplier is a person or a company that provides something that another person or company needs or wants. For example, she was a supplier and delivered fresh fruits and vegetables to the restaurants. Market. A market is a place where people buy and sell things. For example, he went to the market to buy some fish and cheese. Aisle. An aisle is a space between shelves or rows of seats in a store or a building. For example, she walked down the aisle and looked for the cereal that she liked. Rack. A rack is a metal or wooden frame that is used to hold or display things. For example, he hung his coat on the rack and entered the store. Hanger. A hanger is a metal or plastic device that is shaped like a human shoulder and that is used to hang clothes on. For example, she took the dress off the hanger and tried it on. Mannequin. A mannequin is a model of a human body that is used to display clothes in a store or a window. For example, he admired the mannequin that was wearing a suit and a tie. Size. A size is a number or a letter that shows how big or small something is, especially clothes or shoes. For example, she asked the shop assistant what size the shirt was. Color. A color is one of the many types of light that you can see, such as red, blue, green, etc. For example, he chose a blue color for his shirt because it matched his eyes. Quality. Quality is how good or bad something is, especially in terms of its appearance, performance, or durability. For example, she was impressed by the quality of the leather jacket that she bought. Exchange rate. Exchange rate is the value of one currency in relation to another currency. For example, he checked the exchange rate before traveling to Europe and saw that the euro was stronger than the dollar. Delivery. Delivery is the act of bringing something that has been ordered or bought to a person or a place. For example, she chose the express delivery option and received her package the next day. Review. A review is an opinion or a comment about something, such as a product, a service, a book, or a movie that is written or spoken by someone who has tried or experienced it. For example, he read the reviews on the website and decided to buy the headphones that had the highest rating. Slogan. A slogan is a short and catchy phrase that is used to advertise or promote something, such as a product, a company, or a campaign. For example, she remembered the slogan of the shampoo that she used, "Because you're worth it." Logo. A logo is a symbol or a design that represents a product, a company, or an organization. For example, he recognized the logo of the car that he wanted, a silver star on a blue background.
Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme. The lingo of getting around. Round here, in the vicinity, around here. There's a nice cafe round here, do you want to go there? Skirt, to go around, to avoid. We skirted the city center and took the ring road instead. A bit of a pickle, a difficult situation, a predicament. I'm in a bit of a pickle, I don't know how to get to the airport. Brave the traffic, to face the traffic, the congestion. I had to brave the traffic this morning, it was a nightmare. Ring road, a road that goes around a city or town, often used to avoid traffic congestion in the center. Take the ring road and exit at junction 12, then follow the signs to the airport. Snarl up, a situation where traffic is very slow or stopped because of too many vehicles. There was a snarl up on the highway because of an accident, so I was late for work. Steer clear, to avoid someone or something that seems unpleasant, dangerous, or likely to cause problems. You should steer clear of that neighborhood at night, it's not very safe. Jump in a cab, to get into a taxi quickly, usually because you are in a hurry. I have to jump in a cab now, or I'll miss my flight. How do I get there? A question to ask for directions to a place. Excuse me, I'm looking for the museum. How do I get there? Is it far from here? A question to ask about the distance between your current location and another place. Is the train station far from here? Do I need to take a bus? Your best bet, your best choice or option, the most likely way to achieve something. If you want to find a cheap hotel, your best bet is to search online. Your best off, the best thing for you to do is to. You're best off taking the subway, it's faster than driving. Go the long way round, to take a longer route than necessary, usually to avoid something. I had to go the long way round because the bridge was closed for repairs. A bit of a shortcut, a shorter or quicker way of getting somewhere. I know a bit of a short cut through the park, it will save us some time. Double back on yourself, to go back in the opposite direction that you came from. You've gone too far, you need to double back on yourself and turn left at the traffic light. Cut/nip across, to cross something quickly, such as a road, a field, etc. Let's cut across the parking lot, it's shorter than going around. Cut through, to make a way through something, such as traffic, a crowd, etc. He cut through the traffic and reached the hospital in time. Cut/nip down, to go down a small street or alley to save time. You can nip down this alleyway and come out at the main road. Pop down, to go down a street quickly. I'm just going to pop down to the corner shop, do you need anything? Come out at/on, to arrive at or reach a place after going through something. If you follow this path, you'll come out at the lake. End up in, to finally arrive at a place, especially after a series of events or choices. He took a wrong turn and ended up in a dead end. An alleyway, a narrow street or passage between buildings. The thief ran away through the alleyway. A one-way street, a street where traffic can only move in one direction. Be careful, this is a one-way street, you can't turn left here. A dead end/no-through road, a street that is closed at one end, so that you cannot go any further. This is a dead end, we have to turn back. A back street/road, a street or road that is not very busy or important, often in a poor area. He lives in a back street in the outskirts of the city. Bear left/right, to go slightly to the left or right. Bear left at the fork and you'll see the sign for the hotel. Cross over, to go from one side of something to the other, such as a road, a bridge, etc. Cross over the bridge and take the first right. Follow, to go along a road, path, etc. in the same direction as someone or something else. Follow this road for about a mile and you'll see the church on your left. Head towards, to go in the direction of a place or thing. Head for the exit and I'll meet you there. Keep going, to continue moving or doing something without stopping. Keep going until you reach the end of the street, then turn right. Make a U-turn, to turn your vehicle around in a U-shaped curve, so that you can go back the way you came. You can't park here, you have to make a U-turn and find another spot. Opposite, on the other side of something, facing something else. The bank is opposite the post office, you can't miss it. Run into, to meet someone or something unexpectedly or by chance. I ran into an old friend on my way to the library. Turn back, to go back to where you came from, or to make someone do this. We had to turn back because the road was blocked by snow. Walk along, to move on foot at a normal or relaxed pace, following a road, path, etc. Walk along the river and you'll find a nice picnic spot. A bend, a curve in a road, river, etc. Slow down, there's a sharp bend ahead. A bridge, a structure that is built over a river, road, etc. So that people or vehicles can cross from one side to the other. The bridge was closed for maintenance, so we had to take a ferry. A corner, a point or an area where two or more edges, sides, or surfaces of something meet. There's a bookstore on the corner of Main Street and Elm Street. A junction, a place where two or more roads, railways, etc. meet or cross each other. At the next junction, take the exit for the airport. A landmark, a building or place that is easily recognized, especially one that you can use to judge where you are. The Eiffel Tower is a famous landmark in Paris. A sign, a piece of wood, metal, etc. with words or a picture on it that gives information, instructions, a warning, etc. There was a sign saying, "No entry." A sidewalk, a path with a hard surface on one or both sides of a road, that people walk on. Please walk on the sidewalk, not on the road. A traffic light, one of a set of red, yellow, and green lights that control the movement of vehicles, usually at a point where two or more roads join. Wait for the traffic light to turn green before you cross the street. A zebra crossing, a place on a road, especially one where there is a lot of traffic, across which wide, black and white lines are painted, and at which vehicles must stop to allow people to walk across the road. Look both ways before you use the zebra crossing. Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme. Food. Culinary. Pertaining to the practice of cooking or the kitchen. A culinary education involves mastering various cooking techniques and understanding diverse cuisines. Gourmet. Relating to high quality, refined, and often exotic food. The gourmet chef carefully selects the finest ingredients to create a culinary masterpiece. Palate. The sense of taste, or the range of flavors perceived by an individual. Her sophisticated palate allowed her to discern the subtle nuances of the wine. Mouth-watering. Extremely appealing or appetizing, often causing salivation. The aroma of the freshly baked bread was so mouth-watering that it drew people into the bakery. Savor. To enjoy and appreciate the full flavor of food. Take a moment to savor the complexity of the spices in this dish. Cuisine. A specific style or method of cooking, often associated with a particular culture or region. Italian cuisine is known for its use of fresh ingredients and simple yet flavorful recipes. Delectable. Highly enjoyable and pleasing to the taste. The chocolate truffles were absolutely delectable, melting in the mouth with each bite. Mingle. To mix or blend different flavors together. Let the herbs and spices mingle to create a harmonious taste in the sauce. Sustainable. Capable of being maintained over the long term without harming the environment. The restaurant is committed to using sustainable seafood to support ecological balance. Umami. A savory and rich taste, often described as the fifth basic taste alongside sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. The addition of mushrooms enhances the umami flavor in this dish. Crisp. Firm and easily breakable, providing a satisfying crunch. The chef recommended baking the cookies a bit longer for a crisp texture on the edges. Zesty. Full of flavor, often with a hint of spiciness or tanginess. The zesty salsa added a burst of freshness and heat to the tacos. Simmer. To cook slowly over low heat, allowing flavors to meld and intensify. Let the soup simmer for at least an hour to achieve a rich and robust taste. Mouthfeel. The tactile sensation or texture of food inside the mouth. The creamy mouthfeel of the ice cream complemented the crunchy bits of chocolate. Infuse. To steep or soak ingredients in a liquid to extract flavors, the chef chose to infuse the olive oil with garlic for a subtle yet fragrant taste. Hearty. Satisfying and substantial, often associated with robust and filling meals. A hearty stew with root vegetables is perfect for a comforting winter dinner. Crunchy. Having a firm, crisp texture that produces a sound when bitten. The salad is best enjoyed when the vegetables are fresh and crunchy. Exquisite. Extremely beautiful or, in the context of food, exceptionally delicious and refined. The chef's exquisite presentation elevated the dining experience to a new level. Tender. Easy to cut or chew, not tough or stringy. Slow cooking the meat makes it incredibly tender and succulent. Mingle. To mix or blend together, allowing flavors to intermingle. Let the ingredients mingle in the marinade to enhance the overall taste of the grilled chicken. Mouth-watering. Extremely appetizing, causing an intense desire for food. The sight and aroma of the barbecue were so mouth-watering that everyone eagerly lined up for a plate. Sauté. To cook quickly in a small amount of oil over high heat. Sauté the vegetables until they are tender but still retain a bit of crunch. Piquant. Having a strong, spicy, or tangy flavor that stimulates the taste buds. The piquant sauce added a delightful kick to the grilled shrimp. Indulge. To allow oneself the pleasure of enjoying something, often a treat. On special occasions, it's okay to indulge in a rich and decadent dessert. Sizzling. Making a hissing or crackling sound while cooking, often over high heat. The steak was sizzling on the hot grill, creating an enticing aroma that filled the air. Wholesome. Good for one's health, nutritious, and promoting overall well-being. A bowl of vegetable soup is a wholesome choice for a light and nutritious meal. Aromatic. Having a strong, pleasant fragrance, often related to herbs and spices. The aromatic blend of herbs and garlic in the sauce added depth to the pasta dish. Scoop. To lift or take up with a scooping motion, often referring to serving portions. Use an ice cream scoop to create uniform portions of mashed potatoes. Mild. Not strong or intense in flavor, gentle and subtle. The mild flavor of the cheese allowed the other ingredients in the dish to shine. Gratify. To give pleasure or satisfaction, especially in the context of fulfilling one's appetite. A well-prepared meal can gratify not only the senses but also the soul. Stir-fry. To cook quickly in a pan over high heat while stirring constantly. Stir-fry the vegetables for a vibrant and flavorful side dish. Mingle. To mix or combine, especially different flavors or ingredients. Allowing the herbs and spices to mingle in the marinade enhances the taste of the grilled chicken. Sour. Having a taste like that of vinegar or lemon juice, tangy. The addition of lemon juice provides a pleasant sour note to the refreshing drink. Robust. Strong and full-bodied in flavor, often used to describe hearty dishes. The robust flavors of the chili are a result of slow cooking and a blend of spices. Braise. To cook slowly in a closed pot with a small amount of liquid, enhancing tenderness. Braising the meat in red wine and broth imparts a deep and savory flavor. Crispy. Having a pleasingly firm, crunchy texture, often achieved through cooking methods like frying or baking. The chef recommended a longer baking time for the potatoes to make them perfectly crispy. Exotic. Unusual or rare, often from a distant or foreign origin. The restaurant's menu features exotic spices and ingredients from around the world, creating a unique dining experience. Sear. To brown the surface of meat quickly over high heat to seal in juices. Sear the steak for a minute on each side to achieve a flavorful crust. Crispness. The quality of being pleasantly firm and crunchy. The perfect fried chicken is known for its crispness on the outside and juiciness inside. Meld. To blend or mix different components together. Allow the flavors to meld by letting the stew simmer for an extended period. Succulent. Juicy and tender, often used to describe well-cooked meat or ripe fruits. The grilled pineapple was so succulent that it was the highlight of the barbecue. Divine. Extraordinarily delightful or heavenly, often used to describe exceptionally good food. The aroma of the freshly baked bread was absolutely divine. Garnish. To decorate or embellish food, often for both visual appeal and added flavor. The chef used fresh herbs to garnish the dish and enhance its presentation. Mouthful. An amount of food that can be eaten in one bite or one serving. Each mouthful of the pasta revealed a perfect balance of flavors. Mingle. To socialize or mix with others, or, in the context of food, to blend flavors. The dinner party was a great opportunity for guests to mingle and enjoy diverse cuisines. Tangy. Having a sharp, distinctive flavor, often associated with acidity. The tangy lemon vinaigrette added a refreshing kick to the salad. Sizzle. To make a hissing or crackling sound when cooking, usually over high heat. The vegetables began to sizzle as they hit the hot pan, releasing a tempting aroma. Sustainable. Capable of being maintained over the long term without depleting resources. Choosing sustainable seafood options helps protect the health of our oceans. Seasoned. Enhanced in flavor by the addition of herbs, spices, or other seasonings. The seasoned fries were sprinkled with a blend of aromatic spices. Mouth-watering. Extremely appetizing and enticing, causing a strong desire for food. The chef's specialty, a mouth-watering chocolate fondue, is a favorite among dessert lovers. Good job! You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme. Vocabulary related to the city and urban environment. Affordability. Affordability is the degree to which something is affordable, meaning that its cost is within one's budget or financial means. For example, many people struggle with the affordability of housing in big cities. Diversity. Diversity is the quality or state of having many different forms, types, ideas, or kinds of people or things. For example, the school celebrates diversity by organizing cultural events and activities. Public transportation. Public transportation is the system of buses, trains, subways, and other vehicles that are available for the general public to use, usually for a fee. For example, public transportation is a convenient and eco-friendly way to travel around the city. Socialization. Socialization is the process of learning how to behave in a way that is acceptable to society or a specific group. For example, children learn socialization skills from their parents, teachers, and peers. Cost of living. Cost of living is the amount of money that is needed to pay for the basic expenses of living, such as food, housing, taxes, and utilities. For example, the cost of living in New York is much higher than in Omaha. Crime. Crime is an act that breaks the law and is punishable by the authorities. For example, the police are investigating a series of crimes in the neighborhood. Pollution. Pollution is the contamination of the environment by harmful substances or waste. For example, air pollution can cause respiratory problems and diseases. Stress. Stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension that results from difficult or demanding situations. For example, he felt a lot of stress at work and decided to take a vacation. Loneliness. Loneliness is the feeling of being sad or unhappy because one has no friends or companionship. For example, she felt lonely after moving to a new city where she knew no one. Urbanization. Urbanization is the process of making an area more urban, meaning more populated, developed, and industrialized. For example, urbanization has led to the growth of megacities and urban sprawl. Urban sprawl. Urban sprawl is the expansion of urban areas into the surrounding countryside, often resulting in the loss of natural habitats and farmland. For example, urban sprawl is a major environmental and social problem that needs to be addressed. Gentrification. Gentrification is the process of renovating and improving a deteriorated urban area, often making it more attractive and expensive for the upper class. For example, gentrification can cause displacement and inequality for the original residents of the area. Segregation. Segregation is the separation or isolation of people or groups based on race, ethnicity, religion, or other factors. For example, segregation was a common practice in the United States until the civil rights movement of the 1960s. Inequality. Inequality is the condition of being unequal or unfair, especially in terms of rights, opportunities, wealth, or status. For example, inequality is a global issue that affects millions of people. Accessibility. Accessibility is the quality or state of being easily reached, entered, used, or understood by people with disabilities or special needs. For example, the building has ramps and elevators to ensure accessibility for wheelchair users. Amenities. Amenities are features or facilities that provide comfort, convenience, or enjoyment. For example, the hotel offers many amenities, such as a pool, a gym, and a spa. Diversity of thought. Diversity of thought is the variety of perspectives, opinions, ideas, or beliefs that people have or express. For example, diversity of thought can foster creativity and innovation in a team or organization. Innovation. Innovation is the act or process of introducing new or improved products, services, methods, or ideas. For example, the company is known for its innovation and cutting-edge technology. Social mobility. Social mobility is the ability or opportunity for people to move up or down the social ladder, changing their social class or status. For example, education is a key factor for social mobility and economic development. Anomie. Anomie is a state of normlessness, meaning the lack of social norms, values, or standards. For example, anomie can result from rapid social change, social disintegration, or alienation. Crime. Crime is an act that breaks the law and is punishable by the authorities. For example, the police are investigating a series of crimes in the neighborhood. Environmental impact. Environmental impact is the effect or influence that an action, activity, or project has on the environment, such as the natural resources, ecosystems, or climate. For example, the environmental impact of the construction project was assessed and minimized. Isolation. Isolation is the state of being separated or apart from others, either physically or emotionally. For example, he felt a sense of isolation after losing his job and his friends. Lack of open space. Lack of open space is the shortage or absence of natural or public areas that are not built upon, such as parks, gardens, or fields. For example, lack of open space can affect the quality of life and health of urban residents. Metropolis. Metropolis is a large and important city that is the center of a specific region or activity. For example, Paris is a metropolis of culture, fashion, and art. Megacity. Megacity is a very large city that has a population of more than 10 million people. For example, Tokyo is the largest megacity in the world, with over 37 million people. Megalopolis. Megalopolis is a region or area that consists of several large cities and their suburbs that are closely linked by transportation, communication, or economic activity. For example, the northeast megalopolis of the United States includes cities such as New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. Shantytown. Shantytown is a poor and crowded area of a city where the houses are made of cheap or improvised materials, such as cardboard, metal, or wood. For example, many people live in shantytowns in developing countries, lacking basic services and infrastructure. Housing segregation. Housing segregation is the separation or division of people or groups in terms of where they live, based on race, ethnicity, income, or other factors. For example, housing segregation can create spatial inequality and social exclusion. Mall. Mall is a large building or complex that contains many shops, stores, or businesses, usually with a common parking area. For example, she went to the mall to buy some clothes and shoes. Library. Library is a place where books, magazines, newspapers, or other materials are available for people to read, borrow, or study. For example, he likes to go to the library to do his homework and research. Subway. Subway is a system of underground trains that run in a city, transporting passengers from one station to another. For example, she takes the subway every day to get to work. Sidewalk. Sidewalk is a path or walkway along the side of a street or road, intended for pedestrians. For example, he walked on the sidewalk and avoided the busy traffic. Crosswalk. Crosswalk is a marked area on a street or road where pedestrians can cross safely. For example, she waited for the green light and then crossed the crosswalk. Traffic. Traffic is the movement of vehicles, people, or animals along a street, road, or highway. For example, he was stuck in traffic for an hour and missed his appointment. Suburb. Suburb is a residential area that is located outside of a city or town, usually with lower population density and more green space. For example, they moved to the suburb to enjoy a quieter and more spacious lifestyle. Downtown. Downtown is the central or main area of a city or town, usually with more business, entertainment, and cultural activities. For example, he works downtown and takes the subway every morning. Skyscraper. Skyscraper is a very tall building that has many floors and windows, usually located in a city. For example, the skyscraper offers a panoramic view of the city skyline. Cosmopolitanism. Cosmopolitanism is the quality or state of being cosmopolitan, meaning worldly, sophisticated, or open to different cultures and ideas. For example, she loves the cosmopolitanism of the city and its diverse people and cuisines. Livability. Livability is the quality or state of being livable, meaning suitable or pleasant for living. For example, the city ranks high in livability due to its safety, cleanliness, and amenities. Sustainability. Sustainability is the quality or state of being sustainable, meaning able to be maintained or continued without harming the environment or depleting the resources. For example, the project aims to promote sustainability and reduce the carbon footprint. Noise pollution. Noise pollution is the excessive or harmful noise that disturbs the peace or health of people or animals. For example, noise pollution can cause stress, hearing loss, and sleep problems. Air pollution. Air pollution is the presence or introduction of harmful substances or particles in the air that affect the quality or health of the atmosphere. For example, air pollution can cause respiratory problems and diseases. Urban planning. Urban planning is the process or activity of designing and organizing the physical and social aspects of a city or town, such as the buildings, roads. Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme. The office. Vacant, not occupied by anyone or anything, empty. Example, there is a vacant office on the third floor that you can use. A commercial, an advertisement that is broadcast on television or radio. Example, the company made a commercial to promote its new product. A board, a group of people who are in charge of managing or directing a company or an organization. Example, the board of directors approved the new strategy for the next year. To dismiss/fire, to remove someone from their job, usually because they have done something wrong or are no longer needed. Example, the company dismissed/fired him for stealing money from the cash register. A briefcase, a flat case that is used for carrying documents, papers, or a laptop. Example, he always carries his briefcase with him when he goes to work. To wrap, to cover or enclose something with paper, cloth, or other material. Example, she wrapped the gift with a beautiful ribbon and a card. To load, to put something or someone into a vehicle, a machine, or a device, usually in order to transport or operate it. Example, he loaded the boxes into the truck and drove away. Earnings, the amount of money that someone or something earns or makes in a given period of time. Example, the company reported a 10% increase in its earnings for the last quarter. Expenditures, the amount of money that is spent on something, especially by a government, a company, or an organization. Example, the company has to reduce its expenditures and increase its revenues. Handling, the act or process of dealing with or managing something or someone. Example, the company charges a fee for the handling and delivery of the products. A desk, a piece of furniture that has a flat surface and that is used for working, writing, or studying. Example, she has a lot of papers and books on her desk. Retirement, the act or the time of stopping working, usually because of reaching a certain age or having enough money. Example, he is planning to retire next year and travel around the world. To update, to change or improve something, such as information, data, or a system, by adding new or more recent details or features. Example, he updated his resume and applied for a new job. A software, a set of programs or instructions that are used to operate a computer or a device. Example, the software is compatible with Windows and Mac operating systems. The guidelines, a set of rules or instructions that are given or followed for a specific purpose or activity. Example, the company has strict guidelines for the dress code and the behavior of the employees. Wage, the amount of money that someone earns or receives for working, usually calculated by hour, day, or week. Example, the minimum wage in France is 10.25 euros per hour. File, a collection of information or data that is stored in a computer or a device under a specific name. Example, he saved the file on his desktop and emailed it to his client. To complete, to finish doing or making something, especially something that has been planned or ordered. Example, she completed her report and sent it to her boss. A receiver, a part of a phone that you hold near your ear and mouth to hear and speak. Example, he picked up the receiver and dialed the number. To carry out, to do or complete something, especially something that has been planned or ordered. Example, the company carried out a thorough investigation into the incident. Attached, joined or connected to something or someone. Example, please find attached the invoice for your order. Survey, a method of collecting information or opinions from a group of people, usually by asking them questions. Example, the marketing department conducted a survey to find out the customer's satisfaction with the new product. Bid, an offer to pay a certain amount of money for something, such as a product, a service, or a contract. Example, the company made a bid of $10 million for the construction project. A leave, a period of time when someone is absent from work or school for a specific reason, such as vacation, illness, or maternity. Example, she took a leave of absence to travel around the world. A skill, a specific ability or talent that someone has learned or developed through training, practice, or experience. Example, she has excellent communication skills and can work well with clients. Department, a part of a company or an organization that deals with a specific area of work or activity. Example, she works in the Human Resources Department and is responsible for hiring new staff. In bold, written or printed in a thick and dark type of letters that makes them stand out from the rest of the text. Example, the important words are in bold so that you can easily see them. To process, to perform a series of actions or operations on something, such as data, documents, or materials, in order to change, improve, or complete it. Example, the bank is processing your loan application and will let you know the results soon. A binder, a hard cover that holds loose sheets of paper together. Example, she put all her notes in a binder and labeled it with her name. A draft, a version of something, such as a document, a plan, or a design, that is not finished and that may be changed. Example, he wrote a draft of his speech and asked his colleague for feedback. Survey, a method of collecting information or opinions from a group of people, usually by asking them questions. Example, the marketing department conducted a survey to find out the customer's satisfaction with the new product. Supplies, the things that are needed for a particular purpose or activity, such as food, water, equipment, or materials. Example, the office manager ordered more supplies for the printer and the coffee machine. The stationery, the paper, envelopes, pens, and other items that are used for writing or working in an office. Example, the company provides the stationery for the employees and expects them to use it wisely. A CEO, a chief executive officer, the person who is in charge of managing and directing a company or an organization. Example, the CEO of the company announced his retirement after 20 years of service. Data processing, the act or process of using a computer or a device to change, organize, or analyze data. Example, data processing is an important part of many businesses and industries. A folder, a part of a computer or a device that is used to store files or other folders. Example, he created a new folder and named it Project X. A drawer, a part of a desk, a cabinet, or a piece of furniture that slides in and out and that is used for storing things. Example, he keeps his pens and pencils in the top drawer of his desk. A notice, a written or verbal announcement that informs someone of something, such as a resignation, a termination, or a change of address. Example, he gave his boss a 2-week notice before quitting his job. A deadline, a date or a time by which something must be done or completed. Example, the deadline for the project is next Friday, so we have to work hard to finish it on time. Executive, a person who has an important position in a company or an organization and who makes decisions and manages other people. Example, she is a senior executive in a multinational corporation. An intern, a person who works for a company or an organization for a short period of time, usually without pay or with low pay, in order to gain experience and skills. Example, she is an intern at a law firm and hopes to become a lawyer someday. The head, the person who is in charge of or who leads a group, a department, a company, or an organization. Example, he is the head of the accounting department and reports directly to the CEO. To forward, to send something, such as an email, a letter, or a message, to someone else or to a different address. Example, he forwarded the email to his manager and asked for his opinion. Overdue, not done, paid, or returned by the expected or required time, late. Example, the library charges a fine for overdue books. To take on, to accept or agree to do something, such as a task, a challenge, or a responsibility. Example, she took on the project and worked hard to complete it on time. A flyer, a small piece of paper that has information or an advertisement on it and that is given to or left for people to read. Example, he printed some flyers and distributed them around the neighborhood to promote his garage sale. A position, a job or a role that someone has in a company or an organization. Example, she applied for the position of marketing manager and got an interview. To launch, to start or introduce something new, such as a product, a service, or a project. Example, the company launched its new website yesterday and received a lot of positive feedback. Entitled to, having the right to do or have something, usually because of a rule, a law, or an agreement. Example, as an employee, you are entitled to a paid vacation every year. A chart, a visual representation of information or data, such as a graph, a table, or a diagram. Example, the chart shows the sales figures for the last month. To cancel, to stop something from happening or being done, usually by saying that it will not happen or be done. Example, the meeting was cancelled due to bad weather. A form, a document that has blank spaces for someone to fill in with information or details, usually for a specific purpose or activity. Example, she filled out the form and signed it at the bottom. An income, the amount of money that someone earns or receives from working, investing, or other sources. Example, her income is enough to support her family and save some for the future. Corporate, relating to a large company or a group of companies. Example, he works in the corporate sector and wears a suit every day. A booklet, a small book that has a few pages and a paper cover, and that gives information about something. Example, the company gave us a booklet that explains the benefits and policies for the employees. To delete, to remove or erase something, especially from a computer or a device. Example, he deleted the email after reading it. Directory, a list of names, addresses, phone numbers, or other information that is arranged in alphabetical order or in categories. Example, you can find the phone number of the company in the directory. Staple, a small piece of metal that is used to fasten sheets of paper together. Example, do you have a stapler and some staples? I need to attach these documents. A takeover bid, an attempt by a company or a group of investors to buy another company by offering to buy its shares. Example, the board of directors rejected the hostile takeover bid from the rival company. The turnover, the amount of money that a business or an organization earns from selling its products or services in a given period of time. Example, the company has increased its turnover by 15% since last year. Assignment, a task or a project that someone is given to do, usually as part of their work or study. Example, he completed his assignment on time and submitted it to his supervisor. Overdue, not done, paid, or returned by the expected or required time, late. Example, the library charges a fine for overdue books. Shipment, a large amount of goods that are sent or delivered from one place to another. Example, the shipment of clothes arrived from China and was stored in the warehouse. To pick up, to collect or receive something or someone from a place. Example, can you pick up the mail from the post office on your way back? Good job. You will now listen to the next vocabulary theme.
At the hotel, adjoining rooms, 2 hotel rooms with a door in the center. If you wish, we can book an adjoining room for your parents. Amenities, local facilities such as stores and restaurants. We are located downtown, so we are close to all the amenities. Attractions, things to see and do for tourists. The zoo is the most popular attraction for kids in our city. Slap bang, an informal expression that means exactly or directly, often used to emphasize the location of something. Example, the hotel is slap bang in the middle of the city, so it's very convenient for sightseeing. A stone's throw away, a very short distance from something. Example, the beach is just a stone's throw away from our apartment, so we can go there anytime we want. Baggage, bags and suitcases filled with personal belongings. If you need help with your baggage, we have a cart you can use. Bed and breakfast, a home that offers a place to stay and a place to eat. I can book you a beautiful bed and breakfast on the lake. Bellboy, a staff member who helps guests with their luggage. The bellboy will bring your bags to your room. Book, arrange to stay in a hotel. I can book your family for the weekend of the 7th. Booked, full, no availability. I'm afraid the hotel is booked tonight. Boutique hotel, a small, stylish hotel, usually located in a fashionable urban location that has a unique theme, design, and personality. Example, we stayed at a boutique hotel in Paris that had a literary theme and a cozy library. Brand new hotel, a hotel that has just opened or has been recently renovated, offering modern facilities and services. Example, the brand new hotel in the city center has a rooftop pool and a spa. Brochures, small booklets that provide information on the local sites and attractions. Feel free to take some brochures to your room to look at. Out of this world, extremely good, impressive, or enjoyable. Example, the food at the restaurant was out of this world, especially the dessert. Check in, go to the front desk to receive keys. You can check in anytime after 4 o'clock. Check out. Return the keys and pay the bill. Please return your parking pass when you check out. Complimentary breakfast, free of charge. All of our rooms have complimentary breakfast, soap, shampoo, and coffee. Cot, rollaway bed, a single bed on wheels that folds up. If you need an extra bed, we have cots available. Damage charge. Money a guest owes for repairs to hotel property when caused by violent or careless acts. We will have to add a damage charge for the hole you put in the wall. Deposit, amount paid ahead of time to secure a reservation. You will not receive your deposit back if you cancel. Double bed, a bed large enough for 2 people. They are a family of 4, so give them a room with 2 double beds. Floor, a level of the building. The swimming pool is on the ground floor. Front desk, reception, the place where guests go to check in and out and to get information. Towels are available at the front desk. Guest, a person that is staying at the hotel. Our washrooms are for guests only. Hostel, a very inexpensive place for backpackers and travelers on a budget. In the hostel, you probably won't get your own room. Splash out to spend a lot of money on something that is not necessary but is very enjoyable or attractive. Example, he decided to splash out on a new suit for his interview, hoping to make a good impression. Hotel manager, person in charge at the hotel. I'll let you make your complaint to the hotel manager. Housekeeping maid, staff members that clean the rooms and linen. Put a sign on the door if you want housekeeping to come in and change the sheets on the bed. Ice machine, a machine that automatically makes ice that guests can use to keep drinks cold. There is an ice machine next to the elevator. Inn, a small hotel, usually in the countryside. The inn has a cozy fireplace and a friendly staff. Key card, a plastic card that opens the door to a room. Don't forget your key card when you leave your room. Lobby, the area near the entrance of a hotel where guests can sit and relax. You can wait for your taxi in the lobby. Minibar, a small refrigerator in a hotel room that contains drinks and snacks. The items in the minibar are not complimentary. You will be charged for them. Motel, a hotel that has rooms with doors that open to the outside, usually near a road. We stayed at a cheap motel on our way to the city. Occupancy, the number of people staying in a hotel. The hotel has a high occupancy rate during the summer season. Reservation, an arrangement to have a room held for you at a hotel. Do you have a reservation with us? Resort, a hotel that offers many activities and services, usually in a scenic or exotic location. The resort has a golf course, a spa, and a casino. Restaurant, a place where guests can eat meals. The hotel has a restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Room service, a service that allows guests to order food and drinks to their room. If you don't feel like going out, you can order room service. Suite, a large and luxurious hotel room. The suite has a separate living room, a kitchenette, and a jacuzzi. Tip: a small amount of money given to a service worker as a way of thanking them. It is customary to tip the bellboy and the maid. Vacancy: an available room in a hotel. We have one vacancy left for tonight. Wi-Fi, wireless internet access. The hotel offers free Wi-Fi to all guests. Rave reviews: very positive and enthusiastic comments or opinions about something, especially a book, a movie, or a performance. Example: the new musical received rave reviews from critics and audiences alike. To get pampered: to receive special treatment or attention, especially in a luxurious or indulgent way. Example: she decided to get pampered at the salon and got a manicure, a pedicure, and a massage. Long journey: a trip that takes a lot of time or covers a great distance, either physically or emotionally. Example: he had a long journey from his hometown to the capital, where he hoped to find a better life. A menu: a list of dishes and drinks that are available at a restaurant or a cafe. Example: the menu offers a variety of options, from salads and sandwiches to pasta and pizza. A la carte: a way of ordering food at a restaurant where each dish has a separate price, rather than being part of a fixed menu or a buffet. Example: we chose to order a la carte rather than having the set menu because we wanted to try different dishes. Changing facilities: rooms or areas where people can change their clothes, usually before or after a sport or a leisure activity. Example: the gym has changing facilities with lockers, showers, and hair dryers. Towels: pieces of cloth or paper that are used to dry something, especially the body or the hands. Example: the hotel provides towels and toiletries for the guests. Sheets: large pieces of cloth that are used to cover a bed or a mattress. Example: she changed the sheets and made the bed. Hidden costs: extra charges or fees that are not included in the advertised or quoted price and that may surprise or deceive the buyer. Example: be careful when you book a flight online because there may be hidden costs such as taxes, baggage fees, or insurance. To play it by ear: to act spontaneously and according to the situation without a fixed plan or rules. Example: we don't have a reservation for dinner, so we'll just play it by ear and see what's available.
Good job, everyone. You have successfully completed the hypnosis session. Now we are going to gradually wake you up. As you count backwards from 10 to 1, you will begin to feel more and more alert. 10. You are feeling more awake. 9. Your mind is becoming clearer. 8. You are feeling more focused. 7. You are starting to feel your body again. 6. Your muscles are becoming more energized. 5. You are feeling more and more like yourself. 4. You are ready to open your eyes. 3. You are feeling refreshed and energized. 2. You are ready to return to your normal activities. 1. Open your eyes. You are feeling great. You are alert and focused. You are ready to take on the world.